Before the first light flickered, before time had a name, there was sound. All ancient traditions agree on one thing: everything began not with a bang, but with a vibration. A hum. A pulse. A frequency that rippled through the eternal void, awakening form from formlessness. Hindus call it Om. The Egyptians whispered of it in their temples. The Greeks hinted at it through the music of the spheres. Even modern physicists, staring deep into the quantum realm, now admit vibration is the foundation of all matter. But what is this sound? Where did it come from? And more importantly, can we hear it? Welcome, seekers of the unseen. In this journey, we're not merely talking science or myth. We're peeling back the veils between worlds. Because somewhere, encoded in the vibrations of your own body, your thoughts, even your name, lies an echo of this primordial tone. In this video, we'll trace the forgotten origins of this ancient sound through sacred texts, oral traditions, and quantum fields. We'll explore its metaphysical implications. Show a single frequency might have created everything. And then, we'll dive deeper. How can you use this knowledge to recalibrate your consciousness? How can one sound reshape your reality? The answer is more than mystical, it's practical. And it starts not with speaking, but with listening. Can you still hear it, that ancient sound? Stick around, because what you're about to learn might just shift your entire frequency. Long before telescopes and test tubes, the ancients listened. They didn't just look at the stars, they heard them. They believed the universe was not silent, but singing. The sound of creation in ancient civilizations. In the ancient Hindu Vedas, the universe begins with Nada Brahma, the world is sound. Not metaphorically, but literally, the sacred syllable Om, vibrating through the void, organizing chaos into cosmos. This wasn't a chant, it was the source code of reality. In Egyptian temples, priests performed rituals invoking the breath of Ta, the god who spoke the world into being. His words were not mere speech, they were vibrations infused with divine intent. Meanwhile, the Sumerians spoke of Enki, the god of fresh waters, whose utterance shaped destinies. To speak was to sculpt reality. In Greece, Pythagorean didn't just invent musical theory, he taught that all matter is music, vibrating at specific frequencies. Planets, he said, were singing each in its own celestial tone. He called it the music of the spheres. And though we couldn't hear it with mortal ears, the soul could. The Chinese Taoists believed the Tao gave rise to the one sound, which birthed yin and yang. Even the Hebrew mystics of the Kabbalah whispered of the 72 names of God, each a vibrational key, unlocking realms beyond perception. Clearly, this was not a belief bound by culture, it was a truth intuited across the world, across ages. But then, it vanished. Why this knowledge was forgotten? As empires fell and religions rose, mystery schools closed their doors. The sacred knowledge became secret knowledge. The sound of creation, the idea that vibration shapes reality, was too powerful. It was suppressed, shrouded in allegory, encoded in scripture, or dismissed as myth. Science emerged, and in its brilliance, it forgot the vibration beneath the equation. It saw the atom, but not its hum. It split the nucleus, but missed the resonance that held it all together. Yet some still remembered. The mystics, the monks, the madmen. And now, in our age of rediscovery where quantum physics meets ancient prophecy, sound is beginning to be heard again. But what does it mean? Why would a sound create everything? And if that's true, could you create through sound too? Hold that question, because in the next part, we're diving deeper into the very mechanics of vibration and how it might just be the engine behind reality itself. Imagine this: you're floating in a void, no stars, no time, no form. Then, a pulse, a single vibration, like the gentle pluck of a divine string. That's what ancient mystics say sparked it all. But this isn't just poetic. Today's physicists echo a hauntingly similar truth. At the smallest level of existence beneath molecules, atoms, even quarks, everything vibrates. This is known as string theory. It proposes that what we think of as particles are actually tiny, vibrating strings of energy. And here's the twist: the way they vibrate determines what they are. A different vibration equals a different particle equals a different force of nature. It's like a universal instrument, different notes creating different realities. So, what the ancients called the sound of creation, science now calls resonant energy. Two languages. Same truth. Vibration is the language of reality. Let's go deeper. The ancient syllable AUM isn't just a mantra, it's a map. The A represents creation, the beginning, the spark. The U represents preservation, the flow, the movement. The M signifies destruction or transformation, the return to silence, preparing for the next vibration. And silence? That's not nothingness. It's the canvas on which all sound is painted. Every time you chant AUM, you are replaying the entire cycle of existence. Creation, life, dissolution, and back again. You're syncing with the pulse of the cosmos. This is why ancient seers said, "He who understands sound understands the universe." It wasn't metaphor, it was a technology of consciousness. Cymatics, sound creates form. And now, let's make it tangible. In the 20th century, scientists began experimenting with cymatics, the study of visible sound. A simple plate covered in sand is vibrated with different frequencies. The result? Patterns. Intricate, sacred geometric patterns. With each shift in tone, the shapes reorganize. A frequency of 432 Hz creates a perfect mandala. Another tone? A chaotic scatter, another, a blooming star. Sound doesn't just move air, it moves matter. So when the ancients said sound shaped the cosmos, they meant it. Literally. Now, imagine this happening on a cosmic scale. What if the galaxies were born not through explosion but orchestration? What if every planet, star, and cell was formed through divine vibration? And now the most chilling question of all. What vibration are you resonating at? Because if all things are sound, then so are you. Your thoughts, your emotions, your voice, all sending out frequencies, all shaping something. But are you conscious of the pattern you're creating? Hold on to that. Because in the next part, we'll go deeper beyond science and mysticism to uncover the hidden layers, paradoxes, and the ultimate secret behind the sound that shaped the universe. If vibration is the blueprint, then frequency is the signature of the divine. We've talked about sound shaping matter. But now, let's ask, where does that sound come from? And why does it feel alive? The paradox of the primordial sound. In Hindu cosmology, the sound Om is said to come from beyond sound, a realm called Paranada, the transcendental vibration. It's not something you hear with your ears. It's something you perceive in deep meditation, in moments of ego death, in the silent awe of the infinite. Here lies the paradox. The most powerful sound arises from absolute stillness. This idea isn't isolated. In Zen Buddhism, there's a koan. What is the sound of one hand clapping? The answer isn't meant to be logical, it's meant to break the mind, to shatter the walls of duality, because the sound that created the universe exists outside of opposites. Not loud, not quiet, not heard, not silent. It simply is. This is why the mystics sought inner silence not to avoid sound, but to find the source of it. The more still you become, the closer you get to that original pulse, the hidden geometry of the universe. Ancient architecture, from the pyramids to cathedrals, was built with an understanding of resonance. They weren't just buildings. They were amplifiers of sacred frequency. Take the Great Pyramid of Giza. Its internal chambers vibrate at exact harmonics of Earth's natural frequency, what we now call the Schumann resonance, ~7.83 Hz. Coincidence, or acoustic engineering from an ancient science long forgotten? In Tibet, monks use singing bowls tuned to frequencies that realign energy centers in the body. In Greece, healing temples employed lyres and chants to balance the soul. Today, we call this sound healing. But in the past, it was simply called living in harmony. Even languages once held this power. Ancient Hebrew, Sanskrit, and Egyptian weren't just phonetic, they were vibratory codes. Each syllable carried frequency, and frequency was formative. To say something was to bring it into being. This is why, in Genesis, it says, "And God said, let there be light, and there was light." Sound preceded light. Because vibration precedes manifestation. Your voice as a creative tool. Now let's flip the lens. You are not a passive observer of this truth. You are a creator, whether consciously or not. Every word you speak is a vibration. Every emotion you feel has a frequency. Every belief you hold shapes the field around you. When you chant, when you speak truth, when you hum with intention, you are tuning your reality. So what happens when you become conscious of your own sound? What happens when you align your inner vibration with the primordial one? Mystics say, you don't just find peace. You become the silence behind the sound. And from that space, you can manifest not from ego but from universal resonance. That's not magic. That's alignment. If the universe is vibration, then your life is the instrument. So how do we tune ourselves back into harmony with that primordial sound? How do we not just understand the mystery, but live it? The key is intention. Sound without intention is noise. But sound with intention, that's creation. Technique 1. The power of your voice. Start with your own voice. Every morning, before checking your phone, before letting the world speak into silence, say your name, slowly, as if it were sacred. Let it vibrate from your chest. Then say words like, I am aligned. I am grounded. I create with love. I resonate with truth. Don't just say it. Feel the vibration inside your bones. Your body is 70% water, an excellent conductor of sound. Your cells listen. And what you say becomes the frequency you inhabit. Technique 2. Om Resonance Meditation. Here's a simple, ancient ritual. Sit comfortably, back straight, eyes closed. Inhale deeply through the nose. Exhale while chanting Ah from belly. Then Oo rising into chest. Then vibrating in head and lips. Each part awakens a different energy center. Repeat 9 times. Let the sound be your anchor. Over time, you'll notice your mind gets quieter, your body gets lighter, and your emotions begin to flow, not control. Why? Because you are realigning with the cosmic rhythm. Technique 3. Silent listening. This one is often missed, but it's the most important. Stop making sound, start receiving it. Sit in nature, or in a quiet room. Close your eyes and listen. Not with judgment, not with labels, just awareness. Let the hum of the fridge, the wind, your breath, become your teacher. Eventually, you'll hear the still sound behind all other sounds. The nada, the source. And that moment, however brief, can be deeply transformative. It reminds you, you were never separate from the vibration. You are the vibration. Integrate through daily ritual. Sound is not limited to meditation. Play music tuned to 432 Hz or 528 Hz while working or resting. These frequencies are believed to promote harmony and healing. Chant or hum before sleep to calm the nervous system. Speak with awareness. Every conversation is a vibration you send into the world. And perhaps most importantly, observe your inner dialogue, because your thoughts have a frequency too. You don't just emit sound, you also resonate with it. If your inner soundscape is chaotic, life feels dissonant. But when your inner tone is steady, calm, and tuned in, reality becomes a melody. The universe is not built from bricks or bytes, but from breath, vibration, and sound. From the first pulse in the void to the whisper of your own name, you are part of a cosmic symphony that never truly ended, it only shifted octaves. AUM, Nada Brahma, the music of the spheres. Different names. Same truth. This isn't about dogma. It's about remembering that your words hold power, that silence holds answers, that creation doesn't begin with action, it begins with resonance. So the next time you speak, sing, or even think, ask yourself, am I vibrating in harmony with what I wish to create? Because you are not a passive echo. You are a source. And the primordial sound? It was never just out there, in some distant dimension. It's been within you all along. Can you hear it now? If this resonated with you, share it with someone who's ready to remember. Subscribe to awaken deeper truths, and keep listening. The universe is still humming.